first quarter.
So this is the Bulls game.
Before the game, Fred VanVleet, all-star selection was announced. Super.
Yeah, give it up. Oops, sorry, my bad. Give it up. Let's go,
Fred.
No, I do it.
And we just found out. It's like so obnoxious. And we just.
Sorry, what was that?
And we just.
Okay,
We just found out he is participating in the 3-point contest.
Wow, we were actually just talking about whether Fred was going to be in the 3-point contest, and we were like,
I'd love to see it.
It'd be super fun,
Yeah,
to see him
always,
there.
Always fun to see.
I think it's
And like his 3-point percentage is what? Just
unreal, 40 or just under 40.
he's got a higher percentage than Curry right now, does he not? Yeah.
And I think he's the second or third most made threes this season.
Yeah, he's up there.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's true.
Curry.
And he's good at the catch and shoot. It'll be interesting. The last guy in the 3-point contest was Lowry from the Raptors.
He hasn't really been shooting it much as of lately, but I understand why. I mean, he's trying to make more, especially when you got a guy
he's there
like,
anyway, right?
Yeah,
he's
he's making an impact for sure.
So yeah, congrats to Fred on the selection. All right, first quarter. Let me pull it up here. It feels so long ago. I really liked in the first quarter. We went a lot. This is a theme, I guess, for both games. We went to a Fred and Scotty pick and roll a ton.
Oh yeah,
and we've been doing it a lot because Scotty's been guarded by the other team's center. Like they're usually putting the center on
Vucevic.
So
Yeah,
Vucevic
they were. We have a play to talk about between Vucevic and
it was
Barnes.
Capella in the Hawks game, and they've been going to that Scotty pick and roll.
Yeah.
And he was one. I think he started 1 for 5, 1 for 6 in the first quarter. But I wasn't like. I loved what they were running. I loved that
Rookie
pick and
of the
roll.
year. Okay.
It was it was working super well. Like he's getting so much space in that little floater area for that push shot that he's getting a lot better at. So yeah, first quarter opened up really well. Pascal was just his passing all game was crazy, but that first quarter, 6 points, 3 for 3 from the field.
I feel like every time you introduce Pascal to like the game we're talking about, you always say passing was crazy this game.
I know. Maybe just passing is crazy in general.
Period.
That's what I should say. Yeah. But the Bulls, I think the Bulls got a ton of open threes in this first quarter, and we were only up 2 after that. Second quarter, Chris Boucher, man, he gave awesome energy all game, but in that first stint he was just flying up and down the floor the whole team.
Right away, almost as soon as he subbed in,
Yep, he was just on the boards.
Yeah.
I wrote
getting
down
putbacks, man. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it was his first basket, but one of his first baskets was a putback.
Yeah, putback dunk.
Yeah.
I wrote down here that it was like a track meet that second quarter, just a ton of up and down. And I think the Raptors love to play like that, especially with that second unit with Pascal, Achua, Chris, Scotty. Like those guys want to
Just
run.
a bunch of hustlers, man.
Kem came into the game for the first time in 10 games, I think they said.
Yep. With the fat face mask
Thought he
thing.
looked
I was gonna go all LeBron face mask.
face mask Kem, yeah.
Pulling
He
up
had
from
a couple nice stands at the rim. He had a couple nice defensive plays at the rim. He only played like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Not much to glean from it. And the Raptors were getting so much inside against Vucevic. We were just Pascal had so many drives. I think even Chris took him off the dribble from the 3-point line and finished on him. And
Guys like Vucevic, man,
He's too slow,
that's what I said,
man.
they're already slow, and then once they get older, it's even worse.
and he's
and
not
worse and
fast
worse.
off his feet anyway. So those guys we were living inside. Like I think it was like a stretch where every single basket was coming inside against him. And that at that point, it kind of looked like the Raptors might pull away with this one, but the Bulls really locked in at the end of the quarter. The Raptors offense kind of slowed up, and it gave the Bulls a chance to stay within range. So we were up 4 at the half. Third quarter, we really started to struggle guarding Vucevic on the other end. We were getting whatever we wanted against him on the offensive end, but he was kind of killing us inside.
Yeah, man, he hit a bunch of threes on us too.
He had some threes, 2 for 3
three
from
in a
3.
row or something. Oh,
10 points in the quarter, and he was he had a really good game.
He turned it up.
I think it's hard to get, he's so much bigger than a guy like Scotty or Pascal.
His nickname is Vucci Mane.
Yeah, Vucci Mane.
Oh God.
And he is so he's very skilled, but he's just there's not much you can do against guys that size.
It's
Yeah.
Vucci.
Like you can
Voch.
like you can try as hard as you want, but sometimes it doesn't matter when you're that big.
Yeah. True.
But the third quarter, once again, the offense looked grinding down, sort of. But I thought our big three of Fred, Pascal, and OG all made some really big plays. Fred had some great threes. Pascal had playing like Pascal. I thought he had some great passes. He didn't actually attempt a field goal in the quarter, which is kind of crazy.
It just goes to show, man, his game is so diverse.
Yeah.
Like he can, and the same with Fred too. Like Fred might not even shoot the ball maybe once or twice a quarter, but yet will be up 10 points, or will score 10 points during that quarter or 15 points, and it's like,
Where did that come from?
yeah, where did that come from, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you have like Precious out there and
Yeah.
you know.
Fourth quarter, once again, we started going back inside, but DeRozan really turned it on late, man. He
Getting anything you wanted
Oh,
inside the
yeah.
3-point
he
line.
was just like we didn't have any answer for him. He was getting off the screens. He was just hitting, and it wasn't like we were playing bad defense. He was just hitting tough shots.
I have a theory about DeMar DeRozan. A little bit of a theory about
He
DeMar.
actually sucks.
No. I'm not going to say this is a problem with his game, but one of the things about his game is that he's primarily a 2-point scorer, right? Like he scores
exactly.
twos.
Yeah.
But the problem is with his type of game, especially given the fact that he's a shooter, means that he might score 30 points a game, but that means the ball is going to be in his hands for a longer amount of time than it would if he was shooting threes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like
He's an ISO player.
exactly. And so although DeMar DeRozan might have a great game, it doesn't necessarily mean the team is going to win. And I think this is one of the problems that we had when we were in Toronto, like when he was in Toronto, was the fact that, like, well, obviously we didn't have anyone to guard LeBron, but, the ball has to be in his hands for so long in order for us to actually keep scoring.
And that's the tough part about DeMar is that it's tough to have a better player than him on your team and him to be just as effective. That was the thing. Like for us, we couldn't upgrade from DeRozan.
Yeah.
And with our roster and everything, it's like the only way to upgrade is to trade him.
Yeah.
And that's happened, and we won a championship.
Yeah, no, and see, that's the thing is, like, if you look objectively at DeMar DeRozan versus Kawhi Leonard's stats, like Kawhi Leonard's better, sure, but DeMar DeRozan is also a superstar, you know what I mean, of the league. Like,
great player.
he's awesome, and like what he's doing in Chicago is he's having a better career season than he had in like what we were talking about 2016, which is his best year with the Raptors. But the only thing about that is, and this is just one of the things I just wanted to bring up as an anecdote was that it does seem that even if DeMar DeRozan has a 33-point game or a 32-point game, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win, just because the ball needs to be in his hands for so long in order for him to score all those buckets, because he's only getting them by twos.
I think the difference now, though, is that he's such a good playmaker, too.
Yes,
It's like
that's true.
He can create 3-pointers.
You want the ball in his hands.
And if you actually...
When he was with us, he was creating 2-pointers and only 2-pointers, mostly for himself, because he wasn't much of a playmaker, right? Now he can create twos for himself, but also create threes for others. So, like, even having guys like Zach LaVine, who's a great catch and shooter, right?
Yeah.
Just having him off the ball.
No, and actually, he got him a lot of assists this game. Zach LaVine was shooting very well against us.
And then Lonzo's a great catch and shooter, right? So Lonzo will give him the ball, run to the corner, and DeMar will feed him back in the corner for an open three.
And that's a very good point. And actually, if you do look at the stats between his 2016 year and his year this year, where he's not beating his points per game average, but he is beating his assists per game average.
Yeah,
right.
And he's doing both at a higher. Like he hasn't like in San Antonio, he did playmaking more at a higher level than he was his scoring. Toronto, he was scoring at a higher level than he was playmaking.
Yeah.
Now he's doing both at very high
He's
level.
got the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
now.
totally, totally.
All right, this one was fun down the stretch. It felt like they was just kind of slipping away from the Raptors that whole fourth quarter. DeRozan was just...
And they were making a push, man. They were really wanting to win this game.
I was a little upset. I didn't like our clutch time offense. It's been really good, and we won the game, so I'm not going to complain too much. I just thought we could have made it easier on ourselves by going through Pascal more. I thought it was a lot of Fred, which is fine, but just Fred on his own isn't. We've talked about this before.
Yeah. But also we were trying to run the clock a little bit, I think, too.
Yeah, we were. Last play, the regulation, though, Fred goes in, play out of a timeout, gets an isolation, goes in, kind of definitely gets hit, but it's clutch time, so who's to say? Misses a floater, but Scotty gets a great tip in, extends, the ball bounces around a few times, goes in.
As I said before, like we never make those tip-ins at the
No.
buzzer.
Yeah.
That was the first one.
Super clutch
And
play.
and actually Scotty didn't he miss the tip in during the Heat game? Or he was fouled on it, and he hit the two free throws. Yeah, he was fouled and hit the two free throws.
It was even in the Miami game though. Like OG had a chance to win it at the buzzer, but his
Right.
tip was short.
Yeah.
The only tip that went in was Champagne's, which was late.
Scotty with two clutch plays to send games into overtime this week. In the overtime, the Raptors were awesome. OG had two big threes, including one really nice step back in the corner. And then Scotty, man, we talked about this. Nick Nurse called it his best drive he's seen, where he took Vucevic on the outside, took him into the paint, put his body into him, contorted in midair, finished off the glass. Such a big bucket in overtime. I loved how the Raptors executed in overtime. Like the guys just stepped up. And then Gary Trent hit a massive 3 plus a steal where he comes in. The Raptors had a missed shot with maybe 40 seconds to go. And Gary just, as the Bulls were trying to outlet to get the break going, Gary just kind of swoops in and steals it.
Yeah.
The Raptors reset.
And that is such a high risk, high reward play.
If you mess up, it's a layup on the other end.
Absolutely. And man, like Gary has got some balls, man.
Yeah.
Like that is a clutch play to make at such a controversial time. You know what I mean? Like you could just play defense. You know what I'm saying? Like you could and
looking back on it, that's probably the right thing to do.
No, absolutely it was. And that's the thing. And Gary's like, no, what? I'm like leading, if not just behind the steals per league. Like I'm gonna go for this. And he goes for it and it works.
And then he gets a steal, the Raptors reset, and they get the Bulls to completely fall apart on defense, and he is left wide open for the dagger.
Yeah, wide open, dude. He had like 3 seconds to shoot it.
Wide open for the dagger 3. That was it. Pascal knocked 2 free throws down, and the Raptors win 127-120.
Yeah, that was awesome. Great win.
Big win, man. That's a big statement win.
The fact that they are it gives me so much confidence in this team moving forward, like whether it be for the playoffs or just in general with this core, is that this team is able to win close games right now.
Mm-hmm. It's huge, man, because that was a big doubt I had about this team.
Yeah, and it looks clunky sometimes, but they get the job done.
Man.
They just have so much heart, dude.
Yeah,
it's true, man. And hustle, dude.
And a lot of options, too.
Yes.
Right? You can go through Pascal, you can go through Fred, you can go through OG. Gary's going to hit big shots. Scotty can
And actually, was it this Bulls game or was it the Hawks game? I'm thinking about the Hawks game.
But yeah, man, that's a really great win to at that point keep the win streak going.
That put us on a 4-game win streak.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if I like to call 4 games a win streak. It is a streak.
I'd say once you hit 3 games, call it a streak.
Okay, that makes sense.
I
wouldn't call 1 game, I wouldn't call 2 games, but 3 games, okay, they're starting a streak, and then 4 games, a certified streak.
Okay, yeah. All right,
so we're certified.
I'm convinced.
We're certified streak.
Some big numbers from this one. Pascal is 25, 13, and 7.
That's it.
OG with 21 and 6 assists.
Wow.
Fred with 21 and 9.
Over our 5-game win streak, OG's averaging almost 5 assists.
Yeah, man, he's been passing the ball pretty
and his
pretty
3-point shooting has been ridiculous, man. It's been
better.
so good.
Off the dribble, tough shots too.
Tough shots, man.
Gary with 16 points and Scotty with 21 and 8. And Chris Boucher, I should mention Chris Boucher and Precious Achiuwa were doing an amazing job rebounding on both ends off the bench. Boucher had 10 rebounds. Precious had 11.
That's huge.
Yeah,
man.
so big for us, man.
Yeah, Chris,
I gotta imagine, if you're a Bulls fan watching us play and getting all these rebounds, you must be like, get the rebound! Like,
you love, man.
Yeah.
I love to watch.
We frustrate teams that way.
I love to watch the other team play against us and see how they react.
Yeah. No. You want to know something? Oh my God.
Do you want to know? I don't think I want
to know. Yeah. No, I don't really want to know something. The Bulls announcers, bro, those guys.
They're so funny. They're Stacey King.
Dude, they are so Bulls fans. Yeah, they're Bulls fans. I remember Gary hit a 3, kind of a little push off there, and they were like, there should be a foul. They should call a foul. And they're talking as if we were talking here about the Raptors.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite crews in the league.
You know that iconic Rose dunk on Dragic in transition.
Okay.
A while ago. Yeah. He's like, Dragic, what are you doing? It's one of the best calls.
He's so funny, man. He's so funny, Stacey King.
Yeah, I love him.
Good player too.
Yeah.